Hey, I'm Ben Tyree. This is the Tune In. It is Saturday, December 19th here in Brooklyn, New York. These are all pre recorded. You'll be seeing this January, February of 2021. Hopefully, this country and world will be in better shape by then. It's anyone's guess. I'm very optimistic. I hope you are too. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you feel nourished, and that you're Zooming with people and doing all the things you need to do to stay sane and stay safe. Um, so, yeah, I just need you to do one thing for me, please. Please, let's see if I get the direction right. Is it this way? No, it's this way. I need you to hit that red subscribe button on YouTube. Okay? It's all I need you to do today. And I also need you to watch this. So, also, if you want to get in touch, we're looking for sponsorships. I could use some new gear for this show. Yeah, so any companies, any organizations, hit me up. Contact at bentyree.net, www.bentyree.net, and we'll talk. I have a lot of people hitting me up already. This is only episode 6 that we're about to go into. Hey, when can I be on the tune-in? I want to be on the tune-in. And I'm really happy about that because none of these people have seen any episodes. It's just like I'm posting stills on Instagram. Just know we'll get you in. We'll get you in. This is just starting. This is just the beginning. Especially if we have a relationship, you're in the arts, you're in music, we're going to get you on. It's going to be great. We're going to keep doing this. We got to see how it goes. There's room for everybody. So stay patient, stay in touch, okay? So today's guest is someone that I go very, very, very far back with and is really important to me. Tom Newman. He's a DC guitar legend. He's played with a lot of amazing people. He plays all styles. He's done it all. He was my guitar teacher from the time I was 12 to 17 or 18, even before high school. He was kind of headhunting at the art school I was at in junior high. And he was a huge influence on me and a lot of guitar players and bass players, because he plays electric bass too, in the DC area, especially those who went to the Duke Ellington School of the Arts. I know he started there in the late 80s. I don't know how far he went. Maybe early 2000s. He was there until, I'm not sure. But he's no longer there. One of the reasons is he's had some health issues over the past few years, and I've been in touch with him a lot lately. This pandemic has really made me kind of take stock of my life and the arc of my life, the people who were instrumental in the arc of my life and my journey as a person and as a musician. And he's one of those people. And so we've been in touch, been trying to figure out ways to, get him out there to more people so more people can know about him, because he's done some awesome things and he's worth knowing about. And, he's been in a tough spot lately and needs help. There's a GoFundMe. So, today's episode, first of all, we're foregoing the usual donation, the little donation things for the show. And we're only going to promote his GoFundMe for his home nursing care that he needs. So we're going to put that up at the bottom. We're going to plug that throughout the show. We're going to plug it at the end. If you can't give, I get it. It's the holidays. It's a pandemic. Unemployment is about to run out. Hopefully it'll be, reinstated. Hopefully we'll be fine. But it's really uncertain times. It's really scary. I get it. If you can help, any amount helps. If you want to promote it, if you want to just send him a message, or just watch this show and share this show, because I think we're going to have a really great conversation here. Um, we have to take care of our elders. We have to take care of the artists and musicians in our society. And, that's one of the things that's important to me. I know that's important to a lot of you. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a really good conversation. We're going to talk about all kinds. I mean, who knows what we're going to talk about? Guitar, life. Tom can kind of talk about anything. He was a great teacher, great mentor. He's a really funny guy. I'm hoping we'll get to check out some of his sense of humor on this episode. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please share. Please stay in touch. Please donate to Tom Newman's Home Nursing Care Fund on GoFundMe. Again, the link will be here throughout. And without further ado, Tom Newman.
Okay.
Tom, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. I can't complain.
Good. That's a good
It's good.
thing.
It's good to see you. It's been a long
It-
time.
yes, it has been a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we talk often, so it's good to hear your voice again.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so I gave you a pretty raving introduction. I referred to you as a
Oh.
DC guitar legend, which is you ought to let me write your bio. No, but I did call you that, and I spoke about the time I spent with you, even before high school and into
hmm
high school, and how you mentored a lot of musicians in the DC area, especially at Duke Ellington High School, and
hmm
yeah, and you touched a lot of people. So that's kind of where
Praise God.
that's kind of where we walked into this.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I mean, I try not to give myself too much credit, but I hear people say things like that. Uh, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate it so much that I've been able to work with so many people of all kinds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's amazing how many people that you know and I'm going to say this to the audience, like there's probably people you have on records that like came from under your tutelage, like
Oh
if you
yeah.
if you listen to like anything from like jazz to R&B to punk rock, you're going to hear a Tom
hmm
Newman student somewhere.
Oh
It's
yeah.
pretty guaranteed.
I got them all over. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
hmm That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Um, the joke with me and my girlfriend, she always said, "We can't go anywhere without somebody say, Mr. Newman, Mr. Newman."
That's
Yeah, we go.
good.
Yeah, we go to the restaurants or whatever store. I usually run into somebody. And it's nice. And it's nice to see people we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. So I
When
thank
when
God
was
for
the,
that.
yeah, when was the last time you were able to perform?
Oh boy, I think it was probably in March, right before the pandemic hit or the quarantine hit.
Mhm.
I don't quite remember which gig it was. I might have done something at Paul Mitchell's school in
Mm.
D.C. Paul Mitchell is a very good uh, piano player, keyboardist, who was one of my students at Bowie State,
Mhm.
and he's now a teacher at one of the elementary schools in Washington D.C. And I think it was one of the holidays or something. He always likes to do that. He does a very good job with the students. It's fun because he always calls, some of the good, senior musicians, veterans, to play the music, and so it's good. Some people I haven't seen in a long time, so that's always fun to walk in on the gig and see, people you hadn't seen in a while, so that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's one of the
Mm,
things I miss about doing gigs. It's like you showing up, you know what you've got to do, but then you never know who you're going to see there. You never know
that's
who's
right.
going to come up to you afterwards.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I've been quite surprised living in New York how many times like someone famous will just come grab me and give me a compliment, and then I'll never see him again after a gig. But
Right,
yeah,
right, right, right,
it's
right. Yeah,
pretty
that's
awesome.
yeah, yeah. Well, when you can, I know you can't always do it. When you can, I think you remember. I remember. I don't know. You remember me telling you all this same thing. Is that when you can, you try to grab that number.
That's right.
If you can,
Right. That's
Um,
right.
I know one that I missed. That I didn't get his number. Uh, and I always say when I don't get it, but they still allow us that. Hopefully, God will allow me to be able to play with him at some point. Is Sting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the Yellow Jackets was down at Blues Alley, and it was standing room only when I got there. So I was standing against the wall near the front door, as well as a few other people. So I was standing there, and there was a space beside me and everything. And I'm listening to the music and enjoying it, and I wasn't really paying attention. And somebody steps in there and everything. And I just happened to turn my head, and who am I looking in his face with Sting? I was like, what?
You said that was at Blues Alley, yeah?
It blew out,
Yeah.
yeah. And one of the jokes that we would do, some of the musicians that I used to play with, all of them crazy, is they say you should do that. You learn. It's just a joke, but yeah, as soon as the music stopped, I pulled out my card and said, "Give me a gig."
That's right. That's right.
And I know he liked that. He liked that. But we talked for a few minutes, and then after he sat down at a table, man, it was. I wish I might have had a cell phone then. I don't know. They had cell phones then. You talking about in prehistoric days, but but it was a picture. It was. I wish I could have took a picture of that because it was nothing but the heavies, man. Sting, and I don't think Robin Ford. I don't know if Robin Ford was there, but I don't know if he played or not. I don't think he played, but it was nothing but heavyweight cats there. The band Yellow Jackets, and just all of them sitting around one table just kicking it. But
Yeah.
as I was going out, I kind of looked that way, and he caught he caught my eye, and he waved at me going out, and I thought that was
Nice.
real cool, man. He's real down to earth.
I've heard that about him. Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I know a couple people that have worked with him, and I hear
Hmm.
similar things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to get a chance to play his music with him, man. That would be
Yeah.
so awesome. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even nowadays, conceivably, you could record some tracks for him. I mean, anybody can do any
Hmm.
kind of thing like that. Do you do any of that, like remote tracking?
No, I'm not. I always tell people I'm not a techie person. I'm more of a information
Yeah.
knowledge person. Like I did with you all.
Yeah.
Making sure you knew what was everything, that you knew what a term was, a definition. You knew concepts, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's more my thing, and still is my thing.
Yeah.
Is more information based than technical based. I
Yeah.
have other friends and stuff that are really good on the technical side, so I kind of pull them or lean on them when that happens. But I'm becoming more and more like that, and hopefully, as I get well and get better, uh, then I can start adding on to those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause I understand how important it is
Yeah.
uh, to do that, have that available. I'm still old school. I'll if I have an idea for a song or something like that, I'll tend to write it out as soon as I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying? So I'm old school like that, rather than have the equipment to go straight to it and just play it out, and which is good. I need to do that. Well, I got my laptop now, and I'm still learning, how to use it and then what capabilities I have. So I think that's coming because I got a lot of ideas, a lot of things I like to do.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
good. It's kind of a curve, and I honestly I didn't get into the tech side of it until maybe like 15 years ago, and it was all kind of out
Mhm.
of necessity because people were always asking
Mhm.
me to track and do things, and
Mhm.
I'm glad I got into it because especially for now, it's really opened up a lot.
Right.
I do a lot of tracks for people at home and sound design stuff. But I'm also pleased to say I'm kind of old school in that regard. Like I still
Mhm.
write things out longhand. I don't even use software
Mhm.
for that. I give people
Right.
charts. It's all handwritten. I say, you know what the best my favorite software is?
Mhm.
Write the damn thing out yourself. It's great.
Right.
It never you never have to update it.
That's right. That's right, man.
And I still give students like you used to give us all the handwritten like the mode diagrams. I do the same thing. I do the
Right.
exact same thing.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
right.
kind of a little bit old school, new school. I'm like in that
You're right.
midpoint, I
You're
think.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, as an older person, I've had to learn to use technology, because most people in my age range, oh man, it's nothing, man. I ask them now, you use text? No. I mean, a lot of them don't even still have an email. That's funny. Some of them will have an email, but they won't use text or some combination of. But a lot of people my age range, they're afraid of the new technology.
It's overwhelming
Yeah, yeah.
for
It's
sure.
no, yeah. I told him, I said, it's just take your time, do a little bit at a time, and you'll be surprised that you'll be able to do it like anything else, like learning to play an instrument or anything else.
That's
That you
right.
just got to do a little bit of it every day, every day.
That's
But I've
right.
come a long way. I think it's now. I think I got my first computer net about maybe 12, 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it, you know, and oh my God, YouTube,
Ooh, right.
YouTube,
All the old clips.
oh
It's
my God,
everything is on there, right?
I became a YouTube junkie. I mean, I was there. It seemed like sometimes I was there on there for 2 or 3 days, shaking and stuff. My daughter was saying, "Daddy, go to bed." No,
That's right.
no.
It's funny because there's stuff on YouTube now that's one click away. I can remember taking a bus to a friend of a friend to get a VHS copy of this King Crimson at the what is that show? The German show Beat Club
Okay.
tape,
Uh,
and like you couldn't get it anywhere, and it was like
wow.
somebody had it. I like went to get the VHS. It took
Yeah.
all day. Now all that shit is on YouTube. Like
Yes.
everything is on,
Right.
and just
Right.
the journey. I'm kind of grateful I had to take that journey. You know, it's like if you wanted to
Right.
learn something, you had to really
Did.
go. You had to work, buy the record, go to the library, check the record out. If you wanted to learn
Yeah.
stuff, you know,
Yeah.
if you wanted
Yeah.
videos, you had to buy them or find them. You know, it was a journey.
A journey. Yeah. That's why. Man, you would really probably would have tripped out off my record and my cassette and 8 track and all that collection I had. I had all. It was off the chain, man. I mean, I had so much stuff. Um, it was just because that's all I did.
That's right.
In between playing and practicing, that's all I did. And I was constantly, like you said, collecting stuff, buying stuff. Like you said, going to the library, or whatever I could get the information. I was at it, and
Yeah.
over so many years, man, I collected thousands, hundreds, and even probably into thousands of books and things like that. And unfortunately, most of that stuff is gone now.
Mm.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I had some albums I know that did not get transferred because at one point the albums got transferred to uh, CD, or what was that before CD?
Cassettes.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think about that time was probably CDs. But I know some of the albums I had, was like rare albums,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
you never see them again.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lost a lot of good stuff, man.
I
Lot
remember you had a lot. You had a lot of vinyl in the classroom.
yeah,
I was talking to Garrett Scheider a
right,
few episodes back,
right.
and I was kind of telling him because he didn't study with you. I mean, you guys interacted, but he didn't study with you at
No,
all. I don't think back then, and he just recently took up the guitar. I think in the past
right,
10 or so years. But I was
right.
telling him about what it was like to be in your class, and I said, Mr. Newman's room was like the internet before the internet, because because any kind of thing you were curious about, he would say, "Oh yeah," and you would either have it, you could talk about it, you had an article up on the wall about it.
Right.
You'd be playing vinyl. You'd say, "Give me that guitar," and you'd play the thing correctly that we were trying to figure out. I mean, it was like like internet before internet.
Right,
And that's
right,
why it was
yeah,
so awesome because it was like a
yeah,
total immersion. It like
right,
really got. I feel like it really got in us really deep that way.
yeah. I try to always keep all my students um, knowledgeable and aware of everything. And still today, what I tell my students when they don't know a certain thing, I always say, Google it and YouTube it. You know, Google it and YouTube it, and so it's just so much to learn,
Yeah,
and it's never ending.
it's
Mhm.
totally. Yeah, I remember you would give us. You were one of those teachers that really went above and beyond. You would give us cassettes. You'd say, you know what? It's time you check out Wes Montgomery here, and it would be a
Mhm.
cassette that you like
Right,
catalog, put together like a
right,
mixtape of Wes Montgomery or Pat Martino or whoever.
right, right,
And
right, right,
yeah,
right.
that stuff went a lot. I still have a lot of those. I still have behind me is my cassettes. You can't see them, but I still have all that stuff. You
Yeah, I
know,
see. I see in the
it's
background.
above the clock, but I still
Right.
have all that stuff, all of it.
That's cool, man. You're blessed to be able to have kept a lot of your stuff. Like I said, I lost one of the things that hurt me. I was in living. This is after my mother had died, and I was living in a rooming house. I had my own room, but I
Hmm.
had all my things in the basement, and there
Hmm.
was another couple on the first floor. And man, like I said, I had sheet music. Oh my God! I mean, all kinds of instructional books, not all instruments, all things about music, just period.
Mm-hmm.
Not just guitar. And something happened with the young couple that I'm not going to get into detail,
Mm-hmm.
but they did something with the plumbing and messed it up, and
Okay.
it flooded the basement. Mostly all that was destroyed. You
Yikes.
know,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a
that
shame. That's a
that
shame.
hurt me so bad, man. All
Oh,
that was just destroyed. I mean, some really deep stuff too, man. Some really uh great music and studies and all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's great though that you still have it though. Yeah. I always used to laugh, but one one album was Art Tatum solo masterpieces,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, one thing I used to like to do, and I did is I worked with a lot of the piano players as
Mm-hmm.
well as some of the other instruments also, and the students that were primary classical players, but they came and I can't play by ear. I can't
Mm.
play by ear. Well, I can't improvise.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, that's one of the things that I think I did quite a bit of at Duke Ellington is making a transition for a lot of students. But I worked with some great piano players. I mean, classical piano players. I mean, and they could play, man. Oh my God, all these concertos and stuff, man. They just wail on it.
Mm-hmm.
But they could not improvise. They could not play by ear. It was like they ran into a brick wall. And go through the process. But of course, part of that was introducing them to different great music and musicians. And one of them was Art Tatum. So I said give them a cassette, of solo masterpieces. And it was so funny. I can't tell you how many times I was sitting at my desk and all of a sudden my door would be snatched open and
Yep.
everything. And the student run in and said, "Oh my God, Mr. Newman! Oh my God!"
I can recall some instances.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I probably was me and you. We had probably quite a few. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that was always fun to see that reaction.
It's like they've seen the light.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had many times where first time I heard something of somebody and my mouth just fell hanging open.
Yeah.
I think probably the original was my parents tell me was when I was a little boy and I saw Chuck Berry.
Uh-huh.
I think Chuck he was one that they said I was just a little boy and I would just stop in the middle of the floor with my mouth hanging open.
Yeah, yeah.
And then later on it was I think the next time it was like that for me was with Jimi Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
I went over my best friend's house and he played the Band of Gypsies album,
Mm-hmm.
the first one.
Yep.
Well, and he played all of it, man, and especially Machine Gun. And I just stood in the middle of his living room floor,
Yeah.
standing there with my mouth hanging open. And I felt like that with Pat Martino. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, wow. And of course, I can't remember one that I did that with George Benson, but I'm quite sure I did.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't think of it.
But
But all
those
these,
guys really hit you hard, kind of, huh?
oh my goodness, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just to hear him play is amazing.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, Thank God I've met both of them in my lifetime. So,
So you met
that's gonna give them
who? You met
both George
oh, and Pat
and
Martino.
Pat Martino. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know Pat a little more personally than George.
I
Uh,
met I met Pat once about 7 years ago. I was playing
mm,
the late night set at the Iridium in Manhattan, and
okay.
he was getting off his the prime time to his second set. I just went up to
Mm,
him and I was like, can we talk?" And he just stopped everything and gave me his undivided attention, like I was the most
mm,
important thing in the world at the time. And we had
mm.
this like 10-minute conversation. And I told him, you know, I've been listening to you a long time, learned a lot of your solos, you know, blah blah
Mhm.
blah. And he was like totally. And I got a picture, and he's a great guy,
Yeah, he's a nice gentleman.
really interesting guy.
Always been very nice. It's been quite a few times that I've talked to him and everything, even by phone.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to send him a donation, and I know you can look it up for those that might be interested because he has been doing well
Yeah.
in a while. So actually talked to his manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to like I
Yeah,
said,
he's
I'm kind of
also got a GoFundMe out there.
yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, we all kind of in the same place right now. So I need to try to get that to him. You know, because so many people are passing away these days.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost I lost two people this week.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Been a
yeah.
rough year, right?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just it's been a rough time, and it is what it is. So we just have to keep praying and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I lost an uncle this year, another mentor. Did you know who Ronnie Drayton was?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
he was a close mentor of mine while I was in been
Mhm.
in New York City, and he passed away in February. I'm glad it was still, well, I'm not glad, but I mean it was in that window where he could still have a service because it was in
Right,
February. So
right.
people got to get together and deal with that together. But that was rough. And then Pat, my friend Pat, childhood friend Pat, passed away.
Oh wow,
That
yeah,
was, and he's younger than me. I mean, that was rough. That's just like that shouldn't have happened.
yeah. That hurt me so bad when I saw that.
Yeah,
He was such a nice young man
yeah,
and everything, and yeah, that really got me when I saw that. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
yeah. So and then COVID and everything. I mean, it's been a really heavy year.
Yeah, it's been a heavy time, but God is, I hope I'm not calling anybody. I cause you to get in trouble or anything like that. But I mean, just speaking for myself, in my belief thing is that God is just testing us.
Hmm.
We're going through some things, and sorry about that. But yeah, 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 yes, indeed.
So we're gonna actually plug your GoFundMe. I'm gonna put the link down here. Um,
Okay,
yeah. So I don't
I
know if you want to
appreciate
talk
that.
about that, but I talked about it a little in the intro, and I put up the link in the intro. We're gonna probably have the link up. Um, yeah. Usually, so on this show, I put like donation links to help the show keep going. So
Oh yeah,
I've foregone those for this, and so we're just gonna put up your GoFundMe link.
Oh,
throughout.
yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because
Yeah.
you've got some health challenges and you're gonna need some home nursing care. Is that's correct? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still, I'm in the nursing home, but I still have bills that I need to pay. And, I was continually trying to work, through teaching and
Mm-hmm.
everything. But after school, they had budget cuts. And if you see the news, that the pandemic has affected everything
Yep.
economically too. So you have all across, all across the country, schools have been affected. So I got caught up in that. So that's a part of my income I don't have.
Yeah.
So it makes it hard. But it's been pretty good though. I've had folks donate, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any help I can get, I do appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I said in the intro, like, it's tough all around, but it's like whatever anybody can do. I mean, I think oftentimes you have people who are like, "Oh, how can I help?" and they get kind of daunted by all
Mm-hmm.
the people that need help in the world, right?
Oh
But often
yeah.
it's like you're signaled in your own life,
Mm-hmm.
like, well, so and such, and you're presented with these opportunities, right? It's not
Mm-hmm.
always like donating money. Sometimes it's like promoting something, or there's all kinds of ways people can help each other.
Oh yeah.
We're going into the holidays, and it's like of 2020, this rough year, and
Yeah.
so holidays are like people feel both generous and loving, but also holidays can be a rough time for a lot of people.
A lot of people, yes, it
They
has
get
been.
it can be kind of depressing. It just depends on what
Oh
folks are
yeah.
going through.
Well, yeah, what you're going through at the time. I mean, of all the great Christmas times I've had some rough ones too, and everything. I just hope the Congress gets their thing together, man, and get some money out to
Yeah,
folks before the Christmas day,
that's right.
because
They might not though, because I mean, what is
yeah,
it? Saturday. It's the 19th. We got a
right,
week. They're
right,
you know
yeah,
they're messing up. They're not. You know,
it's not
pretty
good. I mean,
disappointing.
yes, it is, and thing about it is, I just hate to see, we talk all this goodness and kindness and everything, but the thing about it, you got so many people that have so much,
That's right.
so much, and then you have so other people that have so little. I mean, the extreme, the
That's right.
extreme is so wide, and it's like the people that have is like they don't even really care, at all. They you might some say they do, but I really don't. Not in the proper way, they not. You have to do things that would help more effectively, you know, and
Yeah.
everything, But I'm hoping that with the new administration, I hope things get better. Um, what we are, well, we still in it. What we were in and have been the last 4 years is I've never seen anything like that in my whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I've been on Earth for 64 years, and I've always been kind of aware, even as a, a young person. So I kind of even knew, that about certain things, politics and everything. So to see even some of the most conservative politicians didn't act the way these folks are acting like now.
Yeah.
They didn't act like that when I was coming up. You knew that they didn't like certain things or even a certain group of people, but
Right.
it was never that extreme, it was never that extreme, but now you don't know what might happen from day to day, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, so I hope the new administration does well. I hope there's a change coming all around. I hope the vaccine works, even though I still am on the fence about it to a certain degree.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
But I probably end up taking it. Well, there's where I'm at. We're one of the first ones on the list, so I
Right.
haven't heard anything about when they might give it to us. Where I'm at now, so I haven't heard anything. So um, I'll be looking out for that. So we're definitely in an interesting time.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Speaking of income inequality and the extremes, that you were talking about, I read last night Jeff Bezos, his ex-wife, the
Yes.
Amazon guy,
Yes.
she took him for, I think like half his money. She's just
Right.
been donating it. She gave Howard University like $40 million last week.
Yeah. I think I did hear about that. Yeah. Yeah. And there's another uh, philanthropist, um, rich person gave another university a lot of money. So black, you know, university, HBCU.
Right.
So I forget who that was and who the
I
school
think it was
was.
Morehouse, yeah.
Maybe
Somebody.
so. I can't think of who it was, but and that's good. That helps greatly, and but even with that, it's like more
Yeah.
because they can tolerate more. This country, the money that this country has,
Yeah.
and people that have money, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They they throw away money that if the ordinary citizens had that money they threw away, everybody would be pretty at a level pace, at a certain level. That's all. We just wanted to be spread around evenly,
Mm-hmm.
so everybody can be at a certain level. You
I
know,
think I think if everybody had guaranteed housing, clean water, safety, opportunities, food, like just
right,
the basics.
right,
I
right,
mean, imagine what this could be.
right.
If no matter what happens, you have those things.
That's right.
Imagine that.
Yeah, may imagine. Yeah, yeah. I dream of things like that sometimes. You know, um, that's one of my wishes for mankind. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
I think I know it can work. I have my best friend. He's a techie. He's genius level guy. He's talented and knowledgeable in a lot of different things. But he always says it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. When I talk about things like that, he tries to explain to me why it doesn't, and I understand, but in the end, mankind, we do what we want to do, you know,
Mm.
and if you don't help somebody, you just don't help anybody, and there's a lot of people that you know they might do a little bit, and that's great, but we need to have something that will affect everybody evenly, right across the board. We're not talking about taking anything from anybody. We're just talking about just leveling it out, you
Yeah.
know, you know, and that would be a beautiful thing, if everybody had housing,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, like you said, health care, you know, education. Um, Even if it wasn't totally free, it would be, you know, f- you know, no, not too high,
Manageable, yeah.
manageable. Yeah, um, yeah, that would be a beautiful thing. Be a beautiful thing.
Well, I think we those who dream of that have to hold on to that, I think, and do what we can to fight for that.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's
yeah.
possible. It's just gonna, it's just uphill, as we all know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We just have to keep working for a better country and community, and it'll be better ourselves, and everything. And when we start seeing things that's like happening now, we need to be right on it and not be afraid to step, as the young people say, step to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can't. I think that's what has been the problem over the last 4 years. Like sometimes people seem like they're afraid to step up,
Yeah.
and say something about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
hopefully things are changing.
Yeah. How do you feel? You feel 10? Are you cool to do 10 or 15 more minutes?
Yeah, sure, sure. I'm
Okay.
enjoying. I'm
Okay. Good.
enjoying myself.
All right. Good. Something I was thinking about the other day. When I was a teenager, you know, kind of trying to figure it out, learn about guitar. I remember a lot of adults would ask me, "So what style do you play?" Like they just had, like, I had to be like, pick one. Like I had to pick a side. And do you play
Hmm.
lead or rhythm? I remember one. I had a parent of a girlfriend was like, "Do you play lead or rhythm?" I said, "I play both." And they're like, "Well, you can't play both. You got to pick one or the other." And I was like, "You don't have any idea what you're talking about." And I said, in the spirit of Tom Newman, in the spirit of Tom Newman's wisdom, you might say something like, "Look, all the greatest players, they will jazz you under the table, they'll funk you under the table, they'll rock you under the table, and they'll lead and rhythm you under the table."
Yeah,
And like all
yeah,
my favorite players, like I would say you were probably the first person I saw in person, like demonstrating these things in person. Like you can do all of it. It's all right
right,
there. Like
right.
learn it all, put it together, see what
That's,
happens.
see what happens. Yeah, I mean, it's all skill sets, and we've seen from everything that we do, and especially now with all the computers and electronics and stuff like that, it's just example of how far we can go. And it's a lot of things that I know that the government and scientists have behind closed doors that we hadn't even got there yet. So it's the same thing. We just apply ourselves to our instrument and to music, and we're able to do different things. But yeah, that's something that always, I mean, ever since I can remember, people would say stuff like that. But see, people tend, they they feel better when you grasp a hold of one thing and just concentrate on that, you know. And I don't know what that is. That's a study into itself, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but people are like that. I think that one of the funniest things uh, that I ran to, that I tell people that's kind of similar to that, is that it was around this time of year, Christmas time, and I was invited over to some people's house and everything. So I was talking to the lady of the house, and we were talking, of course, and talking to me, the subject of music. She brought that up. So we were talking about music and everything. And she said, you know, um, you have to have an abstract mind to listen to instrumental music. And I just kind of looked at it and smiled at it like I'm doing now. And just,
Whatever that means. I mean,
you know,
the
no,
mind is abstract anyway, but yeah, whatever that means.
in other words, but then again, it goes to the whole thing of why of popular music, especially, it goes up and down as far as quality, but that's the question with popular music and I guess people say the difference between instrumental music and vocal music, or instrumental music and dance music, or different things like that. Why is there a difference? Why don't instrumental records sell as much as, say, a vocal record?
Well, sometimes, I mean, there have been some anomalies,
Right? Yeah.
Rocket, Herbie Hancock,
All right. Right.
even
Sure.
Bitches Brew sold really well.
Right.
I think it
Right.
still might be the largest selling jazz record of all time.
Right. Right. But it's still, again, on most times, it's you won't find instrumental music that do as well. And my
Sure.
thing that I deducted is that people relate to, you might hear me say this is pretty old. People relate to the spoken
Mm-hmm.
or sung word,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the spoken or sung word. They can relate to that because something, they speak themselves.
Right.
But you and I can play the most incredible runs on our guitars. We can play the most beautiful chord changes, all the slick substitutions and everything. They don't know what the hell we're doing, man. They
That's
like,
right.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, right, funny,
Well, it's like there's no and I don't want to be disparaging, but like there's no we're not taught to listen. Like you're taught to listen to speech.
right.
You understand that, you recognize that, but we don't really know how to listen to music in our
No,
society
we don't.
unless we take the time, take it upon ourselves to really kind of dig in.
Right. It's a different mindset. Um, and it's almost like, I would think me and my buddy that I was telling you about, the technician. I said, to me as a teacher, it was like, or a parent, it was like, taking, you know, the whole population, or groups of segments of a population. It teach them like you do young children. At some point they run around, but sometimes you have to learn to sit your butt down and be quiet. Just sit. That's a skill and a set in itself. You know what I'm saying? Just to control yourself and just be able to sit and be quiet.
Mm.
And I think that's part of you know the thing from animals. Because we are a more sophisticated animal. But we have to be taught. Just like you teach an animal certain things. Same thing with humans. And like you said, that goes right back into listening to music, to be able to sit and just listen and learn to appreciate what you hear, even though you might not know what's going on.
Yeah.
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 Um, I was thinking, but just had another thought about that. But yeah, we have to learn just to listen, just listen. And we were talking about the stage diving, and what's the other thing where everybody was bumping into each other in the
Oh,
audience, and
the mosh pit
the
thing?
mosh
Is
pit
that what you
thing. I remember when I first experienced that at the old 930, and who did I go to see? I went to see, it was either Bus Boys or it was Living Color.
Wow, yeah.
And I'm talking about, this is the early days of both those
New
bands.
York bands, yeah.
Yeah, but this is down at 930. Down when it was down on what's that?
The,
She
it
was
was
at
like E, sixth and E or something like that. The
E or
old one,
G.
something like that.
Yeah, G Street, yeah. But anyway, I um I was just standing there and enjoying the music in the crowd, and then that thing started happening, and people was bumping into me, and I was like, "What's that? What's up, man?" I started, I started getting ready to throw a punch, man. You know, you know. Uh,
Oh no.
and then I saw that in other instances, and my buddy he says he thought that was cool, but I was like, no, because to me, you're not concentrating on the music. It's the music. You're supposed to be there for the music. You know.
They might feel that the music has taken them over and they're reacting to it, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I don't
who
know, man.
knows?
Yeah, yeah.
It,
It's just like I just don't particularly like that. You know, I mean, you can dance, you can cheer, you can clap your hands and stomp your feet. You know, that's cool. You know, but when you start causing where it takes away from the music and it's not about the music, you know. I didn't never particularly like that at all, you know. But I know people do it, so what can you say? People do all kinds of stuff. You know, what can I say?
I remember you told you it's something that you said still sticks with me to this day because I play a lot of funk and R&B, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember you said when you're playing rhythm, you should be able to make people dance if it's just you, if
Oh
it's
yeah.
just the guitar, and if you
Yeah, yeah.
can't, then go back to the drawing board.
Right,
And I
yeah.
hear that in my head all the time.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I mean, you should be able to play uh whatever rhythmic you know a rhythmic, part, whether it would be single line or chordal or whatever it might be, and get a movement out of people. They can
mm-hmm.
feel it. Another thing I tell my students, you might remember this too, is in playing your blues solos or a bluesy
Mm-hmm.
type of solos. I say you got to be able to do that. I think when you play, you got to be at some point you got to be able to make somebody around in the room say, "Yeah," you know, you
That's
got you
right.
got you got you got to be able to do that. If you can't do that, then it's time to go back to the drawing board, you know. But that's very important that your playing touches people,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that's beautiful about music, that when played well, that you actually can touch people in so many ways, um, and it's always nice to, like you said, afterward, somebody comes up to you and says something to you, how your music or what you did touched them in some way.
There's
That's a,
nothing better than that. There's
oh
nothing.
wow, yes, and it's a beautiful thing. Those are the things that you work hard to develop your music, and to hear that type of compliment
Yeah.
is a great thing, Yeah.
I'll tell you a lesson I actually learned from my wife because she's a singer, and
Yeah.
when we first connected, it was in a professional setting, and I was her guitar player. This is like 12, 13 years ago, and at the time, I was all about the just like
Hmm.
notes, just
Right,
what
right.
some people would call the typewriter, a typewriter solo, or shredding or whatever. I was all about the chops.
You
And
remember what?
she would say something like, you're losing, like you're not connecting, you
Right,
know, and she would say use really simple things to sort of
right,
like coax the listener. You
right,
can still
right,
play all the licks and all the chops, but like
right,
you have to learn how to coax the listener.
right,
And
right,
that was a big lesson for me. And once I started really doing that, it was almost like I had to take a couple steps back, you know, and focus on simpler things,
right,
which no
right,
one had told me before. Everybody was like, "Yeah, you better check out Villalobos and George Benson and all, and all that stuff, right?"
right. That's right. That's right. I mean, a lot of that just comes with maturity. You you learn to edit yourself. I know myself right now that after all these years, I try to always play musically and say something. And when I get into those zones where I'm playing like that, even then I try to edit them, not
Mm-hmm.
just, I see some guys that they'll have that and then they just don't edit at any level. And then that's not, to me, that's not music. And
Mm-hmm.
the it's nice to have chops, but if you don't know how to use them, it's not gonna make any difference.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be able to touch somebody. So it's about knowing how to balance all of that in the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of the
It's very
things I
important.
always loved about players like Mike Stern. Kind of
Mm,
naturally do that, you know.
yeah, oh
He's
yeah,
got all
yeah.
the licks and runs, but then he coaxes you in. He's very lyrical player, you know, almost
Right,
like a
yeah.
vocalist.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Have you heard this cat named Mario Mancuso?
No, no.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna do you like I do everybody else. Google him and YouTube him.
Okay, I will.
Man, he's only like 23 or 24.
Oh man,
He's an Italian
I'm
kid.
scared. I'm scared.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm scared already.
Yeah. Yeah. We all need to be scared of this cat, man. Because the thing about it, though, I mean, this cat, and the thing that's crazy about it, Ben, is that he doesn't play with a pick. He plays completely finger style, but he plays everything from bebop all the way to heavy metal and fusion.
Wow.
And his articulation is crazy. Um, but the thing about it is that not only does he has chops, but he has a lyricism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he to me, he is probably as close between like somebody like George Benson who has that gift.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have melodic geniuses. We used to talk about this melodic geniuses, and then you have technical geniuses. Then you have people that have a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
And I think George Benson is one that has both.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid is like that, man. Man, yeah, check him out. Mario Mancuso.
Okay, I will.
Crazy, crazy, man. I mean, his solos are so beautiful. They're lyrical, but yet he got crazy chops. Crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful player, man. I mean, because some people are great, but they don't always make you listen to them.
Interesting.
You,
Yeah.
you know, you know. Um, he actually draws you in, kind of like you said, and you just listen. You like wow,
Right.
and everything he makes a lot of sense. He tells a story. You know, beautiful player, man. I mean, he's only 23, 24 years old. Crazy. You're from Italy. Yeah, just put his name in, Mario Mancuso.
I
And
will for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's something else, man. Yeah.
One of the things I miss about performing is that I got to this place where I was really learning how to improvise by listening to the audience.
Mm,
You know, you start
mm,
you start and then you listen and you keep going and you listen. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but where
mm.
you're playing based on how the audience is responding.
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
that to me is like the whole thing, and
Oh
that's probably
yeah,
the thing I miss the most. You know?
yeah. You can feel them.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel them, man. And it's a beautiful thing, especially when it's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can feel them too when it's bad.
That's right.
you
That's
know,
right.
but now when it's good, you can feel them. And like I say, even in a big room and stuff like that, you hear somebody, yeah, somebody will say something or do something, and then let you know that it touched them in some way. And that's a beautiful thing.
That to me, that's what makes it all worth it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That's very uh important, you know. And just I learned, from various influences and everything. I was telling one of my students that plays in church regularly is that I listen to my pastor, and I listen to some of those, you know, black Southern uh, church preachers, and especially when they go into their whoop thing, and everybody's hollering, screaming, and running around the church. I was listening to those preachers like for your blues licks, man.
Mm.
You talking about some funky stuff, man. Just I'll sit and I'll learn the phrases, and when they'll play it, they like that too. They'll play it, and I'll play it back at them,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And but they are some good, good material for your blues licks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't get no more soulful than that.
Mm.
Yeah, 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 something else. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was cool to talk to you. I've
Oh
enjoyed
yeah.
this.
Yeah, I enjoyed it really. Yeah, it's nice.
I said I've been wanting to do this kind of thing a long time, and all it took was a pandemic. You know, like because I never really had the time before.
Right.
But it's been going really great. This is episode 6.
Wow.
I'm gonna do another one in a few minutes. Then I'm gonna break, and I'm gonna keep doing them. I've got some cool people lined up, and yeah,
What is when
what's
is
that?
when is your broadcast time?
So I'm gonna start. These are all I'm recording. These I'm gonna edit, kind of do
Mm-hmm.
some minimal production, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start rolling these out in January.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking 1 or 2 a week. I just have to,
Mm-hmm.
I'll know come January, and
Good.
they'll be archived on my YouTube page. But I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
broadcast them. I'm gonna find a time to broadcast them on Facebook Live, like the premiere.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. Once we get closer to that, I'll be posting some pics and some bio stuff, and trying to get people
Mm-hmm.
to tune in and all that.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah,
That's a great
I
idea.
know a couple. I know a lot of people are doing this kind of thing, and I just thought, I could be doing that. Like,
Sure.
I know some interesting people. We have interesting conversations. Like,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 I mean, you definitely um, are in a place that is striving with the arts, even though we hurt with the pandemic, of course, but
mm-hmm.
you're in a definitely one of the greatest, if not the greatest, place for the arts and music. And you have so many great musicians in
Mm-hmm.
that in your area. So you have almost a never-ending source, just about knowing people and connecting with them and getting them to participate.
And all those people, I want them to check out Tom Newman. What your website is? TomNewmanLive.com. Is that your website?
Yeah,
TomNewmanLive.com. We're going to put
www.tomnewmanlive.com.
that up, and then we're going to put
Yeah,
up the GoFundMe at the bottom.
yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
thanks for talking. I got to ring off
uh,
and take another
yeah.
one of these in about 5 minutes. But
Very good, man. Thank you. I just want to thank you for inviting me. It's been a wonderful experience, and I just wish you all the great things that's going to happen for you in the future. I just pray for you and congratulate you for what you've been doing. You're doing some great things. I brag on you all the time. Yeah.
I owe you a lot. You showed me
Thank
the
you.
way, and I take any opportunity to let that be known.
Thank you so much, man.
And
Yeah.
I love you. I appreciate you. Thinking about you. We're gonna be in touch. We'll maybe get a part two at some point.
Hey, that's cool, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I love you too. Say hello to your dad and the rest of your family.
I will. I will. Take care. All right.
All right. Take care. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye. Hey, thanks for joining us. So that was Tom Newman. Tom Newman was my teacher, my guitar teacher's mentor from about 1992 to 1997 or 8. Please check him out, tomnewmanlive.com. Please check out his GoFundMe and contribute if you can. Anything helps. Stay in touch with me. Contact at bentyree.net. Any companies or organizations looking to sponsor, let's talk. Let's talk if you'd like to be a guest. Stay in touch, bentyree.net. 2020 is over. 2021 is a new day, a new dawn. Hopefully it's going to be way better than 2020. So take care, stay safe, love each other, and we'll see you soon, all right? Peace.